Hey everyone, I'm back with another short horror novel review. It's October and Halloween is fast approaching, so I thought I would try to review a few horror novels. I just finished Night World by Robert Bloch. This story was first published in 1972, and this is the 1986 Tor edition. Robert Bloch is most famous for Psycho, of course. This is the first Robert Bloch that I've ever read. I've only found a couple of his novels so far. Now, I'm considering this a horror novel, but there's very strong thriller elements in this. And there's nothing supernatural about it. It is, a psycho stalks people, essentially. The basic setup of this novel is our main character, Karen Raymond, is going to go visit her husband Bruce, who has mental problems, and he's in a sanitarium. He's trying to recover, he's trying to make himself well. And just as Karen gets to the sanitarium, she discovers that the main doctor and all the nurses have been murdered, and all the patients have escaped. And this is a small, exclusive sanitarium, so there's only 5 or 6 patients. So immediately, Bruce Raymond is our main suspect, but it could have been any of the other patients. As we go forward in the novel as well, we start to question, so who really did these murders? And does Karen actually know more than she's letting on? Does she know more than she's told the police? This is a really fast-paced thriller with straightforward prose. Simple prose, easy to read. I just recently finished reading, and I've reviewed on the channel, Ray Bradbury's October Country. And if I had any complaints for that one, is that Bradbury is maybe a little bit too purple in his prose. A few too many metaphors and similes. Robert Bloch is the complete opposite, at least in this novel. Everything is quite simple and straightforward. And that's not a criticism. I was totally fine with that. One criticism I do have is that the mystery of the novel, who is the murderer, sometimes comes off as a little bit contrived. And the reason it comes off as contrived is that the way it's written, you can tell that Robert Bloch is not really giving out the information that the reader should have, right? Sometimes we've got a point of view character who should know quite a lot about who did the murders, but they'll just sort of refer to the murderer as he. He did this, he did that. And we don't get any description of who this he is. So that can be a little bit annoying. The police in the story also, sometimes they're in positions where you think realistically police would know more than this by now, right? They would know the employees of the sanitarium. They would know the patients. That can seem a little bit artificial in a way, like Robert Bloch's just hiding information from you. One other thing I'll mention is that this book has a really, really big font. So even though it's 250 pages, if this was printed with a regular font, it would be like 80 pages or 100 pages. Hang on, I'll show you. Yeah, like this. That's about the biggest font I've ever seen, aside from like a Goosebumps book or something. Now, again, that's not really a complaint as such. There's a lot of thrillers and horror novels that have too much fluff. Honestly, it's refreshing to have a quick read that was short and got to the point. Maybe I would be a little bit annoyed if I'd paid a lot of money for this book. But yeah, overall, a good read. I'm going to keep an eye out for more Robert Bloch. I've only got 2 of his books. I've got Night World, and I've got his novelization of the Twilight Zone movie. I haven't found any of the Psycho books yet. All right, yeah, that's it. Good, simple, quick read. I enjoyed it. I'll be back on Friday with Short Fiction Friday. Thanks for watching. See you later.